We tracked three 2018 F-150s, same 3.5 EcoBoost, same 10R80. Over the next 100,000 miles, the truck didn't change. How each one was maintained did. One went to the dealer. One went to a trusted local shop. One got serviced entirely in the driveway. There's a clear winner, and it's not the one most owners would guess. Not everything about how these three trucks were driven is identical, and anywhere that matters will tell you. This isn't a laboratory experiment, it's three real ownership histories reviewed side by side. I'm RJ, 20 years working on Fords. Here's how we judged them, and here's what 100,000 miles actually revealed. Ask 10 F-150 owners where you should get your truck serviced and you'll probably get 10 different answers. Somebody swears by the dealer. Factory parts, factory software, nothing left to chance. Somebody else swears by their local mechanic. Same quality, half the price, no upsell. And somebody swears they haven't paid a shop a dime in years and their truck runs better than both of the other guys' trucks combined. Everybody's convinced they're right. So instead of arguing about it, we compared it. 4 questions. Same 4 for every truck. Did it get the service it actually needed? What did that service cost? How good was the diagnostic capability behind it? And did the approach increase or reduce long-term risk? Keep those in mind. Everything else is detail. We reviewed every invoice, every interval, every fluid service, every repair recommendation, and every unscheduled repair across all 3 trucks. Not every category moved the needle. The ones that did are the ones we're covering. Going into this comparison, this was the truck we all expected to win outright. Factory technicians, factory software, OEM procedures on every single line item. If anyone was going to get everything right on this truck, it was going to be this one. The dealer truck got full factory procedures, OEM parts, every applicable TSB applied automatically, current software, a factory scan tool with access most shops don't have. What surprised us wasn't that the dealer cost more. It was where that extra cost actually came from. The 10R80 is the single most argued about part of this truck, and for good reason. Ford's manual leans on the phrase lifetime fluid, and that phrase is one of the more expensive ideas an owner can take literally. It means the fluid was designed to survive the warranty period under lab conditions, not necessarily the conditions your specific truck sees. That gap between what the manual implies and what the transmission actually needs is exactly where 3 philosophies of maintenance start pulling apart, and it shows up immediately in how each shop handled it. On the transmission, the dealer applied a conservative maintenance schedule, treating borderline use as severe duty by default to maximize long-term protection. Service at 40,000 miles, whether this specific truck was towing every weekend or barely leaving the neighborhood. There's real logic behind that. A dealer services thousands of trucks it will never personally track for the next decade. Defaulting to the safer interval protects against the owner they'll never meet who's really towing every weekend. It's a defensible policy. It's not just a policy built around this particular truck. Same story on the rear differential, serviced at 30,000 miles. Well ahead of the point most F-150s actually need it. None of that is wrong. It's a safety margin, but it's a safety margin this particular truck was paying for whether it needed it or not. The diagnostic side is where the dealer earned its reputation honestly. Full factory scan tool. Every relevant TSB caught and applied without anyone having to ask. Software calibrations updated the moment they're released. That's not a small thing. Some of those updates address issues a trusted local shop simply can't see coming until Ford publishes them. One unscheduled repair over 100,000 miles. A sensor issue caught early during a routine visit, before it became anything expensive. Preventative maintenance did exactly what it's supposed to do there. The dealer takes the early lead on this test. Most complete, highest cost. And a real question hanging over it. How much of that completeness did this specific truck actually need? The first real surprise came when we looked at the transmission strategy at the local shop. Instead of defaulting to a severe duty interval, the shop determined whether the truck actually qualified for it first. Service history, a look at the fluid itself, a conversation with the owner about how the truck actually got used. It didn't qualify. Regular commuting, occasional light hauling, nothing that matched Ford's severe duty definition. Service landed at 60,000 miles, the interval that matches how the truck was actually being driven, not the interval that assumes the worst about a stranger's habits. Here's what that actually looked like in practice. Pull the fluid, check the color against a fresh sample, smell it. A burnt edge means something the color alone won't show you. Run a magnet through what drains out. A little clutch dust is normal, too much isn't. Ask the owner 2 or 3 direct questions about towing, trips, climate. None of that takes long and none of it costs much, but it's the difference between a decision built on assumptions and a decision built on evidence. Same story on the differential, serviced at 50,000 miles. Once inspection confirmed the fluid was still doing its job rather than replacing it on a calendar alone. This is where the local shop completely changed the comparison. It wasn't cutting corners, it was making the same category of decision the dealer made, just based on the truck in front of it, instead of a worst-case assumption about a truck it would never see again. The diagnostic gap was smaller than expected too. A professional aftermarket scan tool caught nearly everything the dealer's factory tool did, with an occasional lag on the newest bulletins, the ones that hadn't made it into aftermarket databases yet. One unscheduled repair here as well, also caught early, also handled before it became a bigger job, because this shop had serviced the truck enough times to know its baseline and notice when something drifted from it. Same outcome as the dealer on the things that actually mattered, meaningfully lower cost getting there. The local shop is now the leader. Before we get to the truck that came closer to a professional shop than anyone expected, the Ford Longevity Checklist is free at fordscope.com. It walks through the same condition-based questions we just described. What to actually check before you replace anything on your own F-150. And if you want the deeper reference, the Ford Longevity Blueprint goes further. The biggest surprise in this test wasn't that the driveway was the cheapest option. Everyone expects that going in. On the transmission, the driveway truck didn't just wait longer. It used a different strategy entirely. A staged partial drain and fill starting around 30,000 miles, replacing a few quarts at a time every 15,000 to 20,000 miles instead of one full service. Same method some mechanics use on their own trucks. By the third round, most of the fluid had been replaced gradually with Mercon ULV without ever shocking a transmission with one aggressive change. It's not a shortcut. It's arguably more careful than either of the other two approaches. It just takes more visits to the driveway to get there. For diagnostics, this owner ran 4Scan and a $25 OBD2 adapter. We honestly expected this comparison to end right there. A watered-down version of what the professional tools show, good enough for basic codes and not much else. Instead, the $25 adapter kept following the dealer's factory tool almost step for step. Same codes, same live data streaming across the screen, same service resets available after a fluid change. That result alone surprised us more than anything else on this test. Nearly everyone, not everyone. There's a structural ceiling here, not a mistake, a limit. A full alignment check never happened in 100,000 miles because no home garage has the equipment for it. Not because the owner didn't think to ask. And the 4Scan setup, as good as it is, structurally can't see everything a professional-grade shop tool can. The deepest bidirectional controls and the newest bulletins stay out of reach no matter how well you use that tool you have. There's a version of this test where that ceiling shows up as a real problem. It didn't, not over these 100,000 miles, and that's worth sitting with for a second. The gap between a prepared owner and a professional shop turned out to be narrower than most owners assume, right up until the moment it wasn't. What surprised us wasn't how little this truck cost to maintain, it was how little professional work was actually out of reach for a prepared owner. The driveway closed the gap further than any of us expected going into this test. It just couldn't close all of it. 3 trucks, 3 philosophies, one clear winner. The dealer won on thoroughness. Every box checked, every TSB applied, the highest cost of the three, and a real margin of safety built into every interval. The local shop won on judgment. Nearly identical outcomes to the dealer at a meaningfully lower cost, because decisions were made from evidence instead of a worst-case assumption. The driveway won on value, and surprised everyone on this list by how far that value stretched. Lowest cost by a wide margin, and closer to professional-level outcomes than anyone expected walking into this comparison. Only one of those three wins the whole comparison. Looking at the invoices alone, you'd probably reach one conclusion. Looking at what the truck actually needed, you reach a very different one. The dealer earned its reputation honestly. Most complete diagnostic access on this list, and a genuinely low-risk approach to ownership. It also carried the highest cost of the three, and a meaningful part of that cost bought protection this particular truck hadn't earned yet. Insurance against a version of this truck that didn't exist. The driveway produced the biggest surprise of the test. Lowest cost and closer to professional level outcomes than its price tag suggested it had any right to be. But a lift and a professional grade scanner turned out to matter, even for a prepared owner doing everything else right. Structural limits don't care how much research you've done. The local shop is the winner. Not because it was cheaper for the sake of being cheaper, because it made the same quality of decision the dealer made, informed by the truck in front of it instead of a worst-case assumption about a stranger, at a cost the dealer never got close to matching. If you're only measuring thoroughness, the dealer's reputation is earned and real. If you're measuring how much of that thoroughness this specific truck actually needed, the local shop made the better call almost every time. And the driveway came close enough to make you wonder about the difference in price. The biggest lesson from this comparison wasn't that one shop was better than another. It was that maintenance philosophy mattered more than where the truck was serviced. If this video helped you keep a little more money in your pocket and you'd like to support the channel, hit the join button below. I'll see you in the next one.